Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another episode of Islam for Europeans. I'm your host, Robert. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Do apologize that I have not made a video in quite some time, but I just did an interview, a great interview, and I'll post the link in the chat with Sister Heena Lotus. And Sister Heena runs a new YouTube channel called The Muslim Street. Please subscribe to that. They're just starting out. The reason why this, I've done many interviews before for as a frontman for Islam for Europeans, but the reason why this interview I think was a little bit different is that the Muslim Street and Heena, they consider themselves part of the left, the political left, like the far Muslim left. However, with conversations that I had with her, they want to have conversations with Muslims who are across the political spectrum, which I thought was a really good thing. The interview went really well, and this was the conversation that we had been longing for at Islam for Europeans, because as you know, most of the people who watch our channels are Muslim, and they belong to the political right. This is a good chance to present our opinions, in a very respectful way, and very clearly lay out, that we're not a hate group. That at the end of the day, we want what is best for the Muslim community. Like our opinions may seem harsh at times or different, or people might be left scratching their heads as to why we might think a certain way. But I do believe that the Islam for Europeans, myself, and the people who agree with our opinions, whether they're Euro converts or converts from other backgrounds or born Muslims. There's several points that we do agree with that we don't agree with. I guess many other I guess we consider right-wing Muslims in the YouTube Yidawa manosphere. Because we take a communitarian approach to the dawah. We believe that that is the most practical. It has basis in the Sunnah, and we take every step to ensure that we're not dividing, quote unquote, dividing the Muslim community. And in order to do that, you need healthy families. You can't have in a relationship where you're abusing your wife. You can't have a relationship where you're taking multiple wives and you cannot financially support them. We're not, so I think there were many points that we did agree with, that we had on the channel. Again, we're not going to agree on everything. We hold the position that at this time, Muslim or even non-Muslim immigration to Europe proper is not what needs to be done at this time. It's a lot more economical and a lot more life-saving to house our Muslim brothers and sisters in the Muslim world and support them there. Fewer people will die, be able to save hundreds of more lives and save a lot more money in the process. And on top of that, it's not only about that, but it's about the image of Islam in the West as a whole. And I think, Sister is very, receptive to the fact that, you know, uh, you still have to give dawah to the people. And, many times the left, um, people who end up being their spokespeople, they end up being very anti-white to the point that they think that white people are just beyond redeemability, basically. That anytime they try to give an opinion to the contrary or say something that they don't agree with, it's centering white voices and things like that. And Sister Hina, like, and people in the Muslim street, the way they see the world today is, yes, there's privilege and supremacy from one groups to another, but you know those intersectionalities, this doesn't take people's humanity away. It doesn't mean that you're not still dealing with groups in general. And they understand that they can look at the data and see that public opinion in the Anglosphere is turning towards the Muslims, and not everyone is a hater, and you have to be wise how you choose your words and the battles that you choose and things of that nature. And I think hopefully, inshallah, it was the first of many conversations We're also trying to get her in touch, with the Madman Lukes and other people in the our kind of scene, with Islam for Europeans. I'd like, maybe Abu American, Brother Harry. There's many, different conversations that can be had. And, like, even if it means, having a debate with people who totally disagree with us at Islam, from Islam for Europeans on the political left, I'd be even be willing to debate them as well. Um, like, I think the way that we look at things, again, we have to look at it through an Islamic lens. We're a Muslim channel. We keep in mind that, our mission is, not just to give dawah to our people, but also care about, the Muslim world in general. And, we see that, the mainstream non-Muslim right, powerheads, your Elon Musks, your Jordan Petersons, that, there's no way you can ally with these people. They're bought and sold. They, uh, they have an agenda, and even the people who hang out in these kind of YouTube Dawa spheres are so entrenched in their own organizations that it's again, the guidance is up to Allah, but trying to win these people over via debate, or just insulting, is all that's going to do is draw more people who are previously neutral to the right. And that's the argument that we're trying to make. And really, honestly, if you think about it, all the arguments that Muslims on the left sometimes use, specifically our detractors, they'll say Muslims are oppressed in the West because we're 99% people of color. Okay, well, if that's the case, then if there were more white Muslims, which is what we're suggesting, would that not be a solution to that? Because think about it, if you could wake up the next day and 5% of the white population in every Western country had a functioning, Muslim subcommunity, and they have their own aesthetics, their own cuisine, their own dress, their own architecture, within Islamic guidelines, then it would be seen as a positive thing, for Muslims. You wouldn't be uniting the dissident right and the anti-Islam right. We don't advocate for allying with either of them. So it's a good thought experiment. Look at what the things that the Muslims on the left are saying, and really run through them with a fine-tooth comb and think to yourself, wouldn't Islam for Europeans be the best solution, not just for Muslims who consider themselves on the political right, but also on the political left as well. I mean, the fact that just look at the fact that this book right here, Malcolm X, autobiography of Malcolm X. In the quote right here, and I can find the quote. In fact, I'll just pause it right now. Hold on a second. Yeah, so Malcolm X says right here, I tell sincere white people, work in conjunction with us, each of us working among our own kind. Let sincere white individuals find all other white people they can who feel as they do, and let them form their own all white groups to work trying to convert other white people who are thinking and acting so racist. Let sincere whites go and teach nonviolence to white people. We will completely respect our white coworkers. They will deserve every credit. We will give them every credit. We will meanwhile be working among our own kind and our own black communities, showing and teaching black men in ways that only other black men can, that the black man has got to help himself. Working separately, the sincere white people and sincere black people will actually working together in our mutual sincerity, we might be able to show a road of the salvation of America's very soul. It can only be salvaged if human rights and dignity in full are extended to black men. Only such real meaningful actions as those which are sincerely motivated from a deep sense of humanism and moral responsibility can get at the basic causes that produce the racial explosions in America today. Otherwise, the racial explosions are only going to grow worse. Certainly, nothing is ever going to be solved by throwing upon me and other so-called black extremists and demagogues the blame for the racism is in America. Yeah, so again, he didn't say specifically Muslims, but that right there, Malcolm X himself is pointing to white collectivism. Yeah, so in short, I think it's a great conversation. I'll post a link in the chat. And please subscribe to the Muslim Street as well. And hopefully, inshallah, this will be the start of many fruitful conversations. And yeah, that's my time for the day. I'm your host, Robert. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.